Life in America is more expensive than ever before, and the cost of caring for our elderly and sick family members is on the rise. In a recent study from Nationwide Retirement Institute, 71% of respondents said they hope a loved one will take care of them and that they can compensate that person financially for their efforts. But that same study showed only 20% of caregivers receive some kind of financial support, and more than half of them spend their own money, on average about $4,000 a month. Joining us to talk about this and how you can prepare to care for your elderly family members or loved one is Sherea Cary. Obviously, this is something that we've all dealt with, you and I both, and it's always a heavy job, a heavy burden, but you do it because you love and you care for someone. So if you're taking on the responsibility not only of physically caring for them, but their fiduciary responsibilities, taking over their bills and their estate, where do we start with that? Because it can be overwhelming to someone.
Thank you for having me, Isaiah. The last time I was here, we talked about the ABCs of caregiving, and so one of the things I want to talk about tonight is beginning at the beginning. Begin at the beginning. So I think that it's real important that that you start out by asking the person who needs care, asking them about how they want their affairs handled.
Right.
So once you've asked them how they want their affairs handled, you build a consensus with the family members and with the team. And then the next thing you're going to want to do is get the appropriate help from professionals, be that attorneys, be it medical professionals, and things of that nature. And you craft a plan. That's usually the best way to get started. And
one of the most important things you said was get the family involved, because you don't want any fighting or squabbling when mama or dad is sick, or if there's a funeral. You want them to realize that I was given control of the estate or everything that mom or dad has, and here's how I'm going to disseminate it, but we agreed on this.
That's very important, to agree, to meet and for everyone to agree. And the easiest way, I think, to do that is when you start talking about carrying out the wishes of the person who's ill. It's hard to fight the person who has said, this is how I want it handled.
Right.
So once you do that, I think that it is easier to get things done. And no, you do not want a fight or a squabble. No.
Now, when we're talking about who will decide or whose job it will be to take care of this person who may be sick, even if it's, say, your husband or your wife may not even be up to it, and a brother or sister may have to come in. So how do we decide who's going to take on that job, even if it's a mom or dad, husband or wife, or a relative?
Well, we want the person who's most qualified to do it and the person who wants to do it, because like in any other job, it's important that you want to do the job. Any job that you do is difficult if you don't want to do it. So some people are better qualified, they're more organized, some people have more time. And sometimes if you can't find one, maybe you need to have a couple of people that work together as a team in order to get the job done.
Yeah, at least a backup for the caregiver.
Absolutely.
Because we know being a caregiver can be stressful on one person.
Absolutely. And so, yes, a backup is essential. It's very important. And the easy way to have a backup is to make sure and share with the other family members or the people who are participating what's going on and keeping them abreast of what's happening.
If you don't have the resources and you have taken on this job of caring for mom and dad, are there any other outlets or resources for you to help you do the job that you simply can't afford to do, like Medicare, Medicaid? Do they have programs in place if you can't afford to take care of your mom, your dad, your loved one, depending on their age with Medicare and Medicaid and insurance?
I'm not absolutely sure about that, but here's what I know. Through AARP, there are lists of places that may be able to assist you, and depending on what's going on with the person or what the illness is, there are multiple nonprofits and associations that can try and offer some assistance. Much like when we had Hurricane Harvey here, there are nonprofits. I learned about many nonprofits that I did not know were available to help people when they're in trouble, and I think the same is available for folks who need help with caregiving.
And of course, you want to, I would assume, get on the computer, Google. You can Google any damn thing these days and figure out if there's a resource out there to help you, even if it's someone just to talk to you.
Absolutely. And there are folks who are available for you. Talking about whatever the issue is as a caregiver is very important as a caregiver. Having someone that can just listen to you talk about whatever your issue is and who can keep that in confidence is essential that it be kept in confidence. You don't want a whole bunch of family drama.
Exactly.
So
we want to thank you for coming on The Factor Uncensored and bringing your expertise in.